Greetings, Illuminatis. If you're not an Illuminati, feel free to become one by subscribing to this channel or even signing up for my newsletter on my website at thelifeilluminator.com. We are going to get into the astrology for the month of July 2026. Even if you're not watching this at this time, something about the astrology may actually resonate with you, whether it's July or not. So don't get stuck on the time as to what the astrology is pertaining to. So I do these astrology reports for the month to support you with your healing for the month of July. So after you watch this part, and there's a lot to cover, I'm not just going to go blow by the astrology for July because it's significant to our healing. After I do this part of the video, which is lengthy, but I don't give a shit because it's needed to get out there. If you can't be patient, don't expect your life to change for the better. Anyway, it's a message for somebody. After I do the astrology for the month of July 2026, we're going to look into, I'm getting the energy of picking an animal or an insect that is going to pinpoint more as to what you need to heal for the month of July. Those pick an animal, pick an insect readings are going to support you with what the astrology is bringing. It goes hand in hand. But if you go straight to picking your reading and you don't watch this part of the video, then you're missing out. You really are. A lot of alchemical evolution and transformation and self-development ties into patience and having a steady pace, right? Patience is a virtue, as the cliche says. I'm hearing Nick Lachey for whatever reason, from 98 Degrees. Slow and steady wins the race, right? It's like the Knight of Pentacles in tarot. So we're gonna get into this astrology, but you may need to watch this multiple times because there is a lot. And you may actually also get some other insight into your situation, your life, your month of July. This is supposed to help us because it's going to run us. It could run us to the ground depending on where you are at spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Okay. So overall for the month of July, I have notes here. My notebook is here because there's a lot to cover. It's going to be quite the intense month. And some of you who've been watching other videos are probably hearing the same thing. I'm putting that out there too because it is going to be a wild, intense July this year, 2026. Okay, so brace yourself. But just because it's going to be crazy, it's going to be wild, it's going to be chaotic, it doesn't mean you have to be part of it. You have to become it. Okay, you don't have to allow it to wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You don't have to be swept up in what is happening. And this is why this video is so important that you're watching right now, to help you navigate the month of July. Because I'm going to be honest, you're going to need it. We're all going to need it. And this is even for myself too, even though I am prepared as best as I possibly can be for this month and the subsequent months after this. Okay? Do not allow this month to throw you into despair. I repeat, do not allow this month to throw you into despair and cause you to burn out and cause you to give up hope. The devil's going to be on fire this month, is what I was just told. Okay? He's now going to start getting people into his clutches to see who's going to be vulnerable enough to be taken down. We're not going to allow that to happen. We are not. We have to stay strong through this no matter what. The more strong you are, the more hopeful you are, the more faith you have, the more grounded you are during this time, the better it's going to be not only for yourself, but for the rest of us. This is a collective thing. Pluto's in Aquarius right now. Aquarius is the collective energy, humanity, all right? You play a huge part in this. You really do, whether you believe it or not. So right now we already have Jupiter is now in Leo. Woohoo! But there could be a negative thing with that. It could blow things out of proportion. Mercury is retrograde right now, and we have Chiron and Taurus. That's the biggest one. If you haven't seen my other videos, I have Chiron and Taurus. I am a Leo rising, so these are big things even for me. That's what's going on now. So July 2nd, okay? Jupiter and Chiron, now that Jupiter is in Leo and Chiron's in Taurus, they just moved in there. Chiron moved into Taurus June 19th, and Jupiter ingressed into Leo on June 30th, just the other day. Okay, on July 2nd, Jupiter and Chiron will square. All right, this is a battle between the need for security and free expression of personalities. Okay, your personality, mine, everybody else's. This is going to bring to question to ask yourself, how should you deal with resources, money, pleasure, your security, your safety, your pleasure, and your ownership in your life? A lot of the things that Taurus ties into. What is of value? You may start to question certain things, right? Jupiter in Leo is going to expand that light, to shed light onto it, right? Leo's ruled by the sun. Jupiter is a benefic planet. What is that going to shed light into? To help you to be more confident and bold and brave, and knowing what is in your heart, because Leo is tied to the heart of the lion. What are you going to do to allow yourself to become more of the king and the queen in your own life? And that's different for everybody. What you value is not going to be the same as someone else's, but you do want to be surrounding yourself with people who do hold the same values as you do, who like-minded people who see the same thing as you do. You want to surround yourself with confident, positive, okay? Not overconfident, not arrogant, not like completely in your face, not like me people. People who are confident, people who are positive, people who are going to motivate you, who are going to inspire you, who are going to see the leader in you, who are going to see the God confidence in you to bring that out of you. You want to surround yourself with people like that, okay? People who are vibrant, people who bring life force energy, because we're going to need this. There are going to be so many Debbie Downers, so many fear-mongering people, so many people in despair that it's going to try to bring the rest of the collective down. The more that you surround yourself with these positive people who see beyond the 3D reality, who see beyond their human eyes and hear with their human ears, who really see the light of truth in everything. That's going to be everything for you. And that starts with July 2nd. So don't, question yourself when you start questioning things in your life. What brings light to your world? Who around you supports that and who lifts you up, even when it's hard, okay? And what are you really gonna look at that's really of value, okay? Some of you may be realizing, I have too much of this. I have too much stuff. I have too much money I need to give. I have too much fear. I have too much doubt, whatever. I have too many friends who are just like blah, right? They're dim, they're dark, and there's nothing against those people. They just need to really work on themselves like we all do, okay? So July 4th, happy 250th to America, right? I live in the United States. If you don't already know, I'm in Georgia right now. That's a big day. A lot of people have been talking about this day. Mars and Uranus are both in Gemini, and they are going to conjunct. They're going to come together and give each other a big ass hug, okay? In the sign of Gemini. There's very high tension here, a lot of surprises, a lot of breakthroughs too, but also this is where the rug can be very well pulled from underneath you. Something may go awry. Something may be completely unexpected, unpredictable, like, oh my God, there are going to be what the fuck moments, all right? That's the reality of this, okay? Dramatic, sudden shifts. It could be very jarring. Mars is impulsive. It's bold beyond measure. It's the go-getter. It's the trailblazer, the pioneer. It's like, no, I'm going to do this before I think and act. Uranus is just like, oh, this is not aligned with you. Let me disrupt everything. The planet of disruption, but it brings enlightenment at the same time. While these planets may be a little bit challenging, they do bring enlightenment and divine knowledge and divine truth into our lives and to the lives, to the collective as a whole. Okay. This is very, very, very unpredictable energy. Avoid acting impulsively because the whole thing might blow. The whole thing may just, it could be very explosive in the sense where I'm hearing a call to reality. I'm hearing a call to Jesus, but this is not about people following the religion of the hardcore religion of Christianity, but I'm hearing more Christ consciousness. Okay, that's what I heard. You got to slow your roll. You probably have to slow your roll starting now, before the 4th comes around. Okay, and because a lot of the astrology that's going on right now is mirroring the America's birth chart, those in the US, those who live here are going to feel it the most, okay? We're going to be a big example for the rest of the world on how we're going to handle this. We're either going to look like fools or we're going to look like the kings and queens that we really are. We're going to look like what this country was founded upon. How, like I talked in my live stream for the World Cup of Healing, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have to be an example of that to the rest of the world to say, yeah, we have all these things going on, but we're not going to be taken down by it. We're not going to be overcome by it. We can overcome our challenges, right? We can evolve as a people, as a nation, right? To be examples for others and say, no, we are resilient. We are a tough people. We come back hard, right? If you look at the patriotism in a sense, but the fervor of the American people, of certain people who we have all these, role models, like really good role models who've overcome so much. And even when something happens in their lives or they're taken down or whatever, especially in the public eye, which is Leo energy, right? Being in the spotlight, they can be great examples of how we can overcome so much. And when we're not going to let our past drag us down, we're not going to let the chaos, the dramatic shifts, the explosive events in our lives, the dramatic sudden changes, the chaos, we're not going to allow the disruption that's going on in the world throw us asunder. It's not going to allow us to take us off our path. So that's really, really big for the 4th. Just be careful with large crowds. Be careful with the fireworks themselves, okay? Because this Mars Uranus conjunction in Gemini, it could be very, very, very disruptive. Like going haywire, short circuiting. I'm hearing like Johnny Five from the movie Short Circuit. People can just be on edge, and some people may get to the point of where they don't think before they act. So be very careful with that. Be very careful with what you say. If other people don't think before they act, or they act impulsively, or they just like, oh my God, what happened to you? They may be very irate with you, or they may say something. It may not be at you. It may not be at you. You may hear something on social media or on TV or something. The point is to not let it get to you, please. It may be very hard. You may have to really do a lot of grounding to hold yourself together. A lot of you are going to have to take the high road if you're on the other end of this. Now, if you're the one who just like snaps really quickly for one little thing and you get triggered too easily, please understand. If you can't think before you do that, and it happens, come back and reflect and say, why did I get triggered so fast? Why did I get so defensive? Why did not some of you may need to be silent before you do anything. Passive before you do anything. Don't move type of thing. That's what I'm hearing. So on July 5th, the day after the 4th, obviously, whatever happens, Mars trines Pluto in Aquarius and sextiles Neptune and Uranus. Neptune in Aries. Your words and actions are quite potent at this time. Speak your truth with boldness and power, but don't try to take anybody out. Don't try to overly insult someone. Don't try to say this is the only way and that's it, and there's no other way and there's no other possibilities and you have to listen to me or else type of thing. No. This is to enlighten people, okay? if you've got something to say, and there's a lot of power. There's a fighter jet now coming flying in to base. There's a sign for somebody there. Maybe you're in the military or something. There is going to be a military movement. I'm getting very strongly. I'm seeing a lot of these fighter jets do a lot of their training exercises, and there's something coming. And I'm recording this on July 1st of 2026, and I've been seeing it in real time outside my hotel window. There's a lot of movement going on. They're preparing for something, for sure. We need to be prepared as a people as well, but we need to be prepared spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically for what is about to happen, however it's about to happen. So yeah, with the speaking your truth with boldness and power, trust in yourself during this day or around this day. Again, think before you speak or act. But this doesn't mean that you shouldn't act on something or shouldn't speak about something. This could also be where you think about like how you want to come across, what you want to say, and you may hold yourself back by like, wow, that's a bold statement. That's a really powerful remark. That's a little bit risky, right? Mars and Aries energy, they're great at taking risks. Aries people are great at taking risks, right? They have more of this risk-taking energy and this bravery to them, like this, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go for it because I feel confident. I just know in my heart of hearts that this is going to work out. I'm just going to do this and I'm not going to think about it. But this could be something where you want to do something bold. You want to do something brave, and you might hesitate. You might overthink it, right? Mercury's retrograde right now. Of course, Mercury can like kind of sort of distort the mind, in my opinion, despite what sign it's in. Okay, so, but just remember to keep your cool and take the high road. Should it be hurtful, misaligned, degrading, belittling, if you do that to someone, don't beat yourself up. If you are on the receiving end of this, try to have some compassion here. Okay, when these things happen, we have to come from a higher place of consciousness to really look at the person, the situation, whether it's ourselves speaking impulsively, acting impulsively, not really doing the righteous, just thing, or whatever it is, a divine thing, or we're receiving that. It's a lesson for us to learn. Okay, we have to see past what has happened, what has been said. Now, again, the other side of this is it could be very empowering for you. It could like really light you up. It's kind of like I'm thinking every time in the World Cup when the US national anthem, or any anthem for that matter, is being played, you can see the pride and the purpose and the hope and the faith in these people when their national anthem is being sung. I know for me, being born and raised in the States, right, with like, Puerto Rican ancestry, I really get in the feels. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Our nation has overcome so much. We've grown a lot, but at the same time, we're growing apart. And that's a whole topic for another day. We need to get back to being united as one. The United States of America, not the divided States of America. We're going more towards division. And we're doing petty things, saying petty things, and looking at things that are just like not important right now. And we have to really see the heart of everybody. With Jupiter being in Leo, it's expanding our heart, our consciousness to really love our neighbor, right? To really love these people, because no one is born evil. No one is born an asshole. No one is born a narcissist, okay? No one is born who is like downright degrading and unrighteous and unjust. God created every single human being, which means they were already born into the light. We all were. Okay? And I'm going to say this bold statement. When people talk about we were already born into sin, no, we weren't. I do not believe that. You do not have to believe that. But this is for you to have an open heart, open mind as to what I just said. Because I've sat with God about this, and sometimes it just comes out because I'm channeling hardcore, because I'm full of the Holy Spirit, because I'm full of this light, and I've done so much work on myself to be able to tap into that higher energy. But if what I say in these messages, whatever videos I do, it brings you peace and it makes you feel like, oh, yeah, I feel something about that resonates with me. I feel peace. I feel motivated. I feel inspired. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting angel bumps, whatever it is. I feel like, wait a minute, maybe that could be my truth. And if you're feeling that right now, you go explore that. Okay? Because I know for me, so much of my life has been tailored towards going through these life's lessons and these experiences and these hardships to be more enlightened and illuminated, right? Because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to illuminate your well-being and your truth. To think outside the box and say, okay, is this my belief system anymore? I was raised Catholic, right? We were told we were born into sin. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. Why would God call us that if he is an all-loving God, right? And again, with this Mars trining Pluto in Aquarius, sextiling Neptune in Aries, there could be power in your thoughts with this too. What is changing about your belief system? What is really giving you this power and this energy and this confidence, this God confidence to really speak something that you know in your heart is true for you, and this is your opportunity to share with the world, to enlighten others, just like how I'm enlightening you. I'm illuminating these things that have been in the dark for too long and bringing light to them. That's my purpose here, one of my purposes. Okay, so now July 6th, July 6th, I was channeling as I was doing the astrology of my notes. And when I channel automatic writing, my handwriting is not as nice as it is when it's normal handwriting. The sun in Cancer squares Saturn in Aries. Okay, that's July 6th. Cancer sun squares Saturn in Aries. This is a call to really look at your responsibilities, or to take up responsibility, or even to let go of responsibility that is no longer yours, or it never was yours to begin with. Okay? If you're thinking, it's like, I need to be really responsible. I need to be really, productive. I really need to do all these things. I have to take control of this. I have to take control of that. No, Saturn in Aries is really helping you to learn some lessons about that, and to be confident about the wisdom you're learning about why you feel responsible for some things, and why you're feeling like, or maybe you're feeling guilty for not being responsible for some things. It depends. It's going to be different for everybody. So this is, again, it's a time for self-reflection, especially Mercury being in retrograde, to see, okay, you know what? I don't need to hold this responsibility anymore. But this could also be where, with the sun in Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's also the ties into home, motherly energy. This could also be tying into, what am I learning about myself where I need to be more disciplined with my self-care. I need to take responsible for my emotions, my health, my healing. Am I feeling nurtured? Am I feeling held like a child? And for some of you may not have had a great upbringing. You may have had a very, very rough infancy, a really rough childhood, adolescent time period. And so you don't know what that is. And I really hit something for some of you when I said that, because you may have not had a parent, a father, a mother, or maybe you had both your parents, but they were absent. They didn't give you that nurturing love, that, that like being coddled or being swayed or sung to sleep or read to, something like that. Like you didn't really have this very nurturing childhood, and maybe a father and mother or both really weren't giving you what a divine masculine, divine feminine needs to give to a child. That's very specific for some of you. A lot of healing needs to be done there, and I would not be surprised if that comes out in one of my pick an animal, pick an insect readings. So I highly recommend that you do watch those. Some of you may have not seen me before or listened to these things before, and you're like, well, I don't believe in that. What is this pick a thing, whatever? And no, if you're feeling like, oh, this is really opening my heart, I want to see what this is, listen, be curious. I wasn't doing this type of work before, guys. If you don't already know, I used to be a senior systems engineer. I have a bachelor's of science in computer science. This ties nothing to that specifically, but it does. It does, and from a higher perspective. And so I never found myself doing this. And I said to myself, I need to open up my mind. I need to open up my heart to these other possibilities, what I'm capable of and what I'm here to do, right? Everything is a precursor to our destiny. Everything is happening in our lives, even if you don't feel like they're related, but they are. God is the master planner. He's the master architect. He's not going to just throw caution to the wind and just, here, do this and do that. And yes, we have free will, but even then with our choices, they lead to something greater. Okay. So anyway, with that sun in Cancer there squaring, Saturn and Aries, some of you are being called to really be disciplined, take responsibility for healing your inner child. There it is. What you so-called missed out on as a child. Whether you had a parent there or not, you know what this is for you. This is taking action with that Aries, Saturn and Aries energy. Disciplined and taking action, right? Some of you are restricting yourselves of really allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to heal from your past, things from the home, your relationships, your childhood, family. I'm hearing family unity, and now I'm getting Archangel Simiel. She is the one, she's the angel of compassion, but she also, when you call upon her, she brings unity into the family. The family unit comes back together. Everyone starts seeing each other for how God sees them. There's a lot of healing going on. I know I'm going through that with my own family and my other relationships. And it's funny because I have the Simiel bracelet here. The Archangel Simiel bracelet. Okay, it's rhodochrosite, it's red jasper, and there is a beautiful red rose at the top. Roses may be significant for you. I have to put this on my website. I talked about it in one of my other readings, and I really have to put this out there because this bracelet, every time I wear it, it gets mentioned in my video. So it's also howlite too, if you're wondering what the white stones are. All right, if you go to my website, you can better understand how this can help you, but it's more of a reminder. The bracelets that I curate are more of a reminder to you on what you need to go back to, what you need to focus on, what you need to tell yourself about self-care, self-love, family unity, having compassion for yourself and others, okay? So July 7th, Neptune goes retrograde. That's going to be the beginning of all the retrogrades are going to be happening with the outer planets for the rest of the year. This is significant, okay? Neptune goes retrograde until December 12th. This is to get us to review our visions and ideals and to realign with them or to discard whatever is not aligned with us anymore, right? Because again, while Neptune's going retrograde, Mercury is retrograde too. So this is a big reevaluation, reassessment, review period. Take this time to look at this stuff, okay? What is really our spiritual nature? How are we going to incorporate more spiritual practices into our lives? Are we going to do away with some things that we used to do that no longer applies? Okay, so there's a lot with that there. Now, July 9th, happy birthday to my paternal grandfather, God rest his soul, and my old mechanic in Maryland. It's their birthday in July 9th, so happy birthday to them. Hi, Grandpa. Thank you for being here with me today. He just came in. I am a medium also, by the way. So my grandpa was like, oh, I can't wait for you to talk about July 9th because it's my birthday. I'm feeling him right here. I miss him so much. Okay, Venus ingresses into Virgo. And it's funny because my grandmother, who's also deceased, was a Virgo sun. So that's significant. So as Venus ingresses into Virgo on July 9th, love and relationships are going to come up, right? Brand new ideas in love and relationships. You're going to have to be the one to determine what that is for you. If something comes up, try new things in love, in all your relationships, okay? Something healthy. Maybe you guys want to cook healthful foods together, try a new food together, try a new diet together, because this is a great time to start a new diet, change your diet. It's a wonderful time to begin therapy, to begin holistic healing, to work with someone like me as a healer, okay? This is gonna be a great time starting July 9th. Maybe I'll do something special that day. I don't know, whatever, if I'm called. It's a great time to begin these things. It's a great time to have a better relationship with yourself, okay? Venus also talks about love with yourself, the relationship with yourself. You're your best friend. You're your true love. You're your twin flame, whatever that is, part of that. If you have an idea, do something new. This could even be about your appearance, your physical appearance, your hair, whatever. It's funny because I was going to curl my hair a little bit more, and I have like the markings from my hair tie that I had. And my guide said, no, just do whatever. Just like fix it a little bit and do whatever. And just, that's it. That's all you're going to do. Right? I said, okay, great. And wear red today. Do something different. And even though it's not July 9th, the energy is still there. Okay. So some of you are going to have an impulse to try new things out. Virgo is about your daily routines, your health and your wellness. What work, right? How are you going to balance life and work? Again, the pleasure of things with Venus. What do you really love to do? Do more of that stuff. If you don't love something anymore, don't do it anymore. It's okay. But be careful with over criticizing. Be careful with criticizing others with what they look like or how they're dressing or whatever like that. You have to allow people to be. Don't be judging people, you know, how they look. Oh, they're being promiscuous or they're trying to get attention, blah, blah, blah. Stop, stop, stop. Oh my God, why do they have so many piercings? Why do they have so many tattoos? Because the shadow side of Venus and Virgo can bring that up, okay? Please be careful with that, because you have to honor someone's uniqueness. You have to honor someone the way that they do their hair or color their hair or dress or something, okay? Sometimes it is reflective of something that they're going through. And then after that, they're going through a phase. Other times, that's just who they are, okay? We're not here to tell people how to dress and what to look like and how to do their hair and, you know, the piercings and the tattoos and things. We're not here to do that. Absolutely not. God created every single one of us as true, individual, unique beings. Do not slap God in the face, by judging somebody for their appearance, for how they come across. Or there's also a strong energy of like men who dress a certain way, or maybe like they like to show off their pecs a lot or something, or slick their hair back. Women who, you know, this could be something with the tube top I'm wearing. Women who, you know, show more of their shoulder, show more of their legs, whatever it is, because that was a whole thing in the past where women were suppressed by doing that. You can't show your beauty because that sends a signal. It doesn't always do that. It depends on who that female is. If she's doing it to get attention, or she has low self-worth and stuff like that, that is different. That is a distorted feminine energy. But if not, if there's a female who just loves to look like a goddess, let her look like a goddess. I'm on the 33-minute on my timer here. Because she's not doing this to get attention. She's doing this because she's radiating her beauty from the inside out. Okay? This could pertain to men too, right? Could pertain to men too. And this could also be whatever, you know? You're just going to have to allow yourself to determine how this works for you in your life, especially for the month of July. Okay. Let's see. For July 9th, focus more on your healthy daily routines, boost your well-being. If you start a new exercise regimen, diet regimen, morning routines, night routines, like stuff that I do, I'm going to have to share this stuff at some point. Work-life balance, okay? Enjoy your life. Enjoy pampering yourself too. What brings you pleasure? Don't deny yourself of that. If you start this around July 9th, before, after, what you incorporate into your life at this time it's going to magnify later down the road if you keep up with it. You will look younger. You will be more vibrant. You know, people may be nicer to you, or people may do these like really cool things because you're just radiating beauty, light. And again, this goes for guys too, you know, people. And here's the thing. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily do things for men these days. We need to change that too. It's as simple as even opening door for men or something like that, or giving them a compliment or whatever, you know, because they deserve that too. It's like some of them, you don't know what's going on inside, and all it takes is one word of praise, one word of confidence. It's as simple as, hi, how are you doing today? Do you know how many times I've said that to random people and they look at me like, what did you just say to me? Do you know how sad that is for me? Right? Venus and Virgo, people are used to being criticized. People are used to having people be mean to them or not care, give a shit about them. We are here to change that, whether you're a male or female. As simple as, hey, how are you doing today? That's the Venus energy of unconditional love, of showing someone that they are here, they exist, they are a child of God without you even saying it. That is huge right there. So July 14th, we have the new moon in Cancer. You may feel very emotional at this time. I know I'm probably going to be emotional because I'm an emotional person enough as it is. Emotional about family, the home. You may be missing a parent, missing a child, missing a family member, missing a friendship, whatever, missing your old home. If you're a star seed, you're going to wish that you were back on your star seed planet, whatever that is, Arcturian, Pleiadian, Mintankan, you know, those of you who are tied into star seeds, if you don't know about star seeds, go look them up. You may be one too. Maybe you are. New moon in Cancer. It's not just about new beginnings and setting intentions. Yeah, you can do that, but here's the real deal. We got to look into what makes us feel nurtured, what makes us feel coddled. I said this earlier about some of you, like, this just doesn't really, I've never had that before. This is your time to reparent yourself, okay? Reparent yourself and give yourself what you were neglected. And this is not to blame your parents, blame your caregivers, your grandparents, whatever that is, whoever raised you, or siblings or something like that. This is not to say, well, it's their fault and they didn't treat me like this and I never had a childhood, whatever, right? I'm hearing like Michael Jackson. Have you seen My Childhood? Have you heard that song? It's a very, that song really gets me. You know, and even then for Michael Jackson, it was tough for him, but like, look what he was able to accomplish. Sure, there were some other complications, but we really have to see the truth from a spiritual standpoint with that stuff. But this could be significant where, you know, what are you going to do to feel nurtured, to feel at home with yourself? What are you going to do? What are you going to bring into your life? The new beginnings. What are you going to start differently? Something new. New things really refresh us, right? They energize us. We get excited about new things, new love, new car, new home, new place, new city, new whatever, new song, right? On the radio, Cancer can tie into that energy, music, water, you know. Maybe this is as simple as like you drinking more water or being by water. Maybe you need water therapy. Okay, listening to waterfalls, get a diffuser and put the essential oils in there and listen to the water like flipping around in that thing or whatever it is. Sit by the water, go more on boats, go fishing more, whatever that is, okay? It's really about going out in nature and sitting and listening. Cancer is about listening to your intuition, your divine feminine energy, right? And having things being illuminated to you that were never illuminated to you before, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon illuminates things in the darkness, right? So this is a time for everybody to be called to sit by nature, spend more time out in nature and just listen. Observe the world around you. If you watch my field notes on my Life Illuminator channel, if you watch my other videos with the animal messages and things like that, that's what I teach. We observe nature and the world around us, and we gain a lot of wisdom from that, and a lot of that will bring solutions to your problems. And sometimes, you know, when you have a healer or a mentor like myself who has that ability to go outside of the 3D world to figure things out, to better their lives, to really gain the wisdom of nature, right? I bring, I help you to see things that are hidden in plain sight. When you become a master of that, you end up finding so many solutions to so many problems, or you find so much peace in it that you build up your confidence in that, and you're trusting more in the Creator and God when you have challenges, when you're in the middle of a hardship, and you just live your life to the fullest regardless, right? This Cancer new moon could help you feel like, I need someone to mentor me with this, to help me feel nurtured, to help me feel more at home with myself, to help me find what is right for me, right? Because everybody's journey is different. I could very well help you to better understand what is home for you. And even if you are away from home, you can create your life or your environment even to make it feel like home. Just like I'm in my 3rd month of living in a hotel, right? And so I've done things to make it feel like home, even though it's a hotel room. But I took it upon myself to like put flowers and my plants here and rearrange things and, have things around to make it feel not just like we're just staying here until we get a home, but it's a home away from home, right? So I could very well teach you something as simple as that. But this is more for you to allow yourself to feel and to listen to your intuition and feel your emotions. Some of you may go out there and you may need a good cry. Especially those of you who are males, or some of you females who just like, you're a little bit tough and you don't like to cry, you don't like to feel emotions, you don't like sad things. This is your time to be vulnerable and let yourself be more in your true divine feminine energy and let that out. Give yourself a good cry. Listen to those sad songs. Listen to that. It's going to help you to heal. It really does. It really, really, really does. Okay. What are you going to focus on that you can bring into your life to make you feel more comforted and at home with yourself? I was channeling that in my notes. That's a big reflection for you guys right there. July 22nd, the sun ingresses into Leo. And remember, Jupiter is already there. I love Leo season. Not just because I'm a Leo rising, but there's this thing about summer, the middle of the summer, right? Sure, it's going to get hot and sticky and whatever, but this is time to really enjoy, all right? However, while the sun is ingressing into Leo because of all the other astrological placements, this is a multi-layered, high-frequency energy, and it's going to be chock full of surprises and unpredictability. Things will escalate when Leo season comes in. This is why by this time, in the quality of time on July 22nd, we are being guided to do all these things to prepare ourselves before sun goes into Leo. Leo is fire energy. Okay, this could be tying into maybe more fires happening around the world because there might be droughts. There's going to be less rain. I know here where I'm at, it stopped raining a bit, and we're going to get back into these fire things. It's been super hot and super muggy. This could be about people becoming more fiery, like angry, like this distortion of fire, because every element has duality, right? Just like we do. This could be about, I'm hearing the blazing of the sun, something about solar flares, more solar flares happening at this time. We're already seeing all these record heat waves, okay? That could very well escalate. There could be a lot more deaths pertaining to the heat exhaustion or whatever. Please be careful when you're out there, okay? If you can't be doing your walks in that type of 110 degree weather and it's stuffing whatever, don't do it. Don't do the walk or come back inside. Bring your water, whatever that is. Wait till the nighttime or early morning to do your walks or your runs or whatever that is. Your fishing, your exercises. But with everything else, there's going to be a lot, again, more unpredictability. It could be in your own life and in the collective and in the world. But this is really a big moment for us to really shine our light, right? And really understanding, okay, we're going to be doing something different here because dimming our light isn't going to help anybody. It's not going to heal the collective in that sense. So when the sun goes into Leo, the thing is that I talked about in another video was we're afraid to shine our light because we're afraid of people seeing us for who we are. We're afraid of people burning us at the stake. And this is a real world thing, you guys. For those of you who are watching this, 44 minutes on my timer, the archangels are saying to you, a lot of you were persecuted for shining your light. A lot of you were persecuted for speaking your truth. And I went through the same thing. So many of us went through the same thing, whether we were like beheaded, set on fire, you know, whatever, waterboarded, like whatever it is, put in a barrel, set on fire, whatever it is. A lot of, maybe some of you had a lot of fire deaths in your past lives. If you're wondering about this, I do past life regression healing, and I also do Akashic records. I'm very excellent at that. And I do it a very, very different way. If you are very interested in seeing what happened in your past life, maybe you're resonating with this. Maybe you have a fear of fire, a fear of drowning even, a fear of flying, whatever that is, a fear of transportation. I can help you understand why that is and how you can heal from that. And if you go to my website, if you click on the link below, I have those types of healing sessions that you can invest in to really better understand those things. It could also be as simple as, why are you afraid of leading? Why are you afraid of shining your light? Why are you afraid of showcasing your talents, your creativity? Because Leo, it rules the 5th house. It's also about creativity. Why you're second guessing yourself? Why are you holding back? Why are you afraid to step out of the comfort zone? All of these things that pertain to like shadow Leo stuff. A lot of us need to come more into our Leo energy. I'm hearing like, to hear me roar, like that roar song by Katy Perry. But even then, we're going to have this bigger trine when the sun ingresses into Leo, involving Uranus and Pluto. There are going to be a lot of rapid developments in technology, people in power, people losing their power, people gaining power. I'm hearing a changing of the guard, but more so those who've been in the spotlight, those who've been the influencers, those who've been inspiring, motivating people, they're not motivating, inspiring people anymore. There's going to be a big changing of the guard, and those who are the true light bringers, those who are the true leaders of divine light, they're going to be put on the pedestal. They're going to be put in the front lines of the spiritual army to lead us to where we really need to be headed. Okay, I'm hearing it again. It's a big changing of the guard. It's like a huge change in leadership, right? People are going to be stepping down, or people are going to be kicked out. But this is done by God. So don't get all like prideful. Oh, ha ha ha! So and so is no longer in power, and this and this. No, that doesn't help. It doesn't help. They had their purpose too. Okay, even these people who don't do these righteous and just things, they do have a purpose. They really do. So we have to stop judging them for that, because God doesn't waste his children. He doesn't waste people. Yes, there's free will choices and stuff like that. Some people do abuse their power, abuse their gifts. That does happen. But even when that happens, God already knows, and he has a backup plan. He already has a plan for that. But that's also to teach us some very big things. Okay. So now starting July 2nd, when the sun ingresses into Leo, because Pluto is involved in this trine, we're also going to see some big things in our own lives and in the world come to an end. Let those things go. Let them fall away, because it's there. It's happening because it's not going to serve you anymore. Okay. And the collective is going to go through a major death and rebirth around this time. July 24th, Mercury in Cancer goes direct. So we're now coming out of the Mercury retrograde stuff. This also can tie into positive influences on all agreements and contract negotiations. We're going to get more, we're going to act upon our reflections, our reviews, our reevaluations of our own lives, of our environments, what it is that we're not holding a value. You know, we're going to start, some of us have already realizing, I need to be healthier. I need a coach. I need a mentor. I need someone to mentor me with my healing, and to really, you know, someone who's been there, done that, who has this compassion, who's not going to judge me, right? Who's not going to shove something down my throat in order for me to get to believe something and to understand something. It's guidance, right? That's what mentorship is. Some of you have reevaluated all these things that we talked about earlier with all the other transits, and saying to yourself, you know what? I'm now going to act upon it. Leo energy. I'm now going to do something about it. I'm going to have the confidence to change, right? I'm going to have the confidence to change. Like Albert Einstein said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. A lot of people don't want to change. They don't want to, you know, like, no, I'm hardcore. I'm fixed on this. Leo is a fixed energy. And sometimes the shadow side of Leo is, I don't want to change. I don't like change. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to become this. I don't want to lead. I want to be a follower. I want to hide behind the shadows. None of that. We're all here to shine our light in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So, once Mercury in Cancer goes direct, again, Cancer energy, feminine energy, the home, your past lives even, your past life relationships, it's more of understanding, it's having this mental clarity, okay, as to how you're going to change those things within that realm. And you may need to see where Cancer is in your chart, or what rules your fourth house, okay? July 6th, Saturn goes retrograde, right? We already have Neptune retrograde. Now Saturn goes retrograde July 26th until December 11th, the day before Neptune comes out of retrograde. This is a time to review the past few months and make any necessary changes, okay? Again, we're already talking about the changes in our own lives, the changes in our health, our well-being, what is really important, what is really of value, changing how we view our bodies, whatever that is. Okay, by this time on July 26th, you should have done all of these things to better understand what Saturn retrograde is getting you to see. Okay, what's getting you to better understand. Lessons learned. Have you learned your lessons? Have you followed the guidance, or are you still stuck? By the time July 26th rolls around, Saturn's going to assess you. He's going to do a reality check and say, hey, have you made these changes? Have you evaluated these things? Have you really talked to yourself? Are you nurturing yourself more? Are you getting the therapy you need, the mentorship you need, the healing that you need? Are you really doing something for the betterment of your own good, which would tie into the betterment of the collective? And if nothing has changed for the better, even in the slightest, by the time July 26th rolls around, you gotta really sit down hardcore and start thinking why. And I will tell you already, it's because you didn't really do anything to better yourself. That's just the God honest truth. How do you expect your life and your relationships, your inner world to change if you don't do something about it? You don't invest in that, right? You have to invest time, money, and energy into your health, your well-being, your self-development if you want things to improve. Alchemical evolution, you want to evolve to a greater version of yourself, but it's more so a person who's more at peace, who has greater health, who doesn't worry so much, who doesn't stress so much, who doesn't get triggered all the time. Right? Do you know how much peace that would bring? So many people who put all these videos out there don't really ever talk about peace. It's manifesting whatever you want. It's manifesting your heart's desires. And it's like no one's desiring peace. Why do you think we are in the world that we live in now? Because so many of us are not desiring peace. So many of us are not desiring unconditional love. So many of us are not desiring what is truly of value, not only to us, but to the rest of the planet. Nobody's honoring compassion. Why do you think we are where we are? We're focusing too much on the material. We're focusing on our next door neighbor and keeping up with the Joneses and all this stuff, all these people who have all this money and who have all these things. And it's just like, I want to be like them. Do you really? Do you really want to have that? You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have peace, you don't have your health, there's no point in living. Because all that can go away. When you die, you're not taking your millions with you. You're not taking your possessions with you. You're not taking how many hours you put into your work with you. God's not going to give a shit. He's not going to give a shit about those things. He's going to look at, okay, how did you live your life? Did you really enjoy the life that I gave you? Did you change things about it for the better? Did you help somebody out? Did you shine your light? Did you use your pain and your suffering to help somebody overcome their own pain and suffering, right? Those things. Because when we incarnate into another life, either we're going to have a harder life the next time around, or it's going to be better. Or we won't be put into Earth school and we're going to be ascended masters out in the ethereal or something like that. But that's a whole other topic for another day. It's getting really deep there with that Neptune energy. So July 27th, Leo, the sun in Leo opposes Pluto in Aquarius, which also trines Neptune in Aries and forms a sextile with Uranus. The Leo sun is activating all of these planets, and all those planets I just mentioned are the outer planets tying to collective energy. Okay? A lot of the collective energy. It's really getting us to deal with tension in our life, with our power, with our fears, shining light on those fears, but also the other planets with, what is it, the trine in Neptune, the trine with Neptune. I'm hearing psychosis, our fears, the hidden things, our spiritual nature, that understanding we are spiritual beings. The more we shine our light, the more spiritual we become. Okay? There is a fear with being in our power and shining our light because we're afraid of what other people are going to say and do. The fear of success, the fear of leadership, the fear of being out there, because we all know, and people are out there, there's a lot of other people who oppose that, a lot of people who try to take those people down, a lot of people who criticize. Some of you don't want to be criticized. Some of you don't want to, be woo-woo, or some of you don't want to own up to your gifts. Some of you don't want to be following your calling when God says, I need you to speak this word. I need you to tell these people this thing because I showed you this and I showed you that. And other people can look at you like, oh my God, you're blasphemous. Oh my God, you're the devil. Oh my God, like, what are you doing? That is not true. No, we have to stop fearing those things, because the more you are in your truth, the more you shine your light, the more supported and protected you're going to become. But you won't really understand that until you really build that relationship with God. And I saw 55:55 on the clock when I was talking about those things. So the last thing we're going to talk about, the culmination of the month of July, is July 29th, the full moon in Aquarius. I have moon in Aquarius. Let me tell you, this month of July is going to be so crazy for me because I have Chiron in Taurus, I have Leo rising, and I have my moon in Aquarius. Woo! Innovation. What do you need to release with regards to the conventionality of things? I was channeling, I wrote down in my notes, this is really cool. The unconventional now becomes conventional, so to speak. Things that were once considered unconventional are now going to become more into practice for the collective. People who didn't believe in these things are now going to believe in this, right? Innovation. There's going to be some change with AI, whether you like it or not, okay? But just be open to the sides of things. There's a dark and a light to everything, okay? Major developments in technology. Some of you may be very innovative and be coming up with these things that will blow the world away. That will, like, oh my gosh, how did you create this? Oh my gosh, this is a new way of living. It's a new way of health. It's a new way of speaking with God, of connecting with God. It's a new, but it's not really a new way per se. We're coming back to the things that we should have been doing from the beginning. It's just that control, abuse of power, fear, and doubt, and uncertainty, and the lack of faith, and lack of compassion, lack of unconditional love have gotten in the way. We're remembering who we are as spiritual beings, because we all carry this wealth of high intelligence, of divine knowledge, this wealth of innovation. It's just that so many of us got so caught up in what other people were going to say about it. Even when you innovate something, you create something, and people don't really like it, people don't watch it, people don't buy it. I've said this before. Well then I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to give up. Too many of us have given up on our dreams, given up on our innovative, creative ideas. The sun's still going to be, the sun's still going to be in Leo at this time. It's got to be a wealth of possibilities. Don't hold yourself back. Do the thing that's going to make you stand out. Do the unconventional thing, because either by this point, if you've already done the unconventional thing, it may become the conventional thing. It may be something that the collective is now going to honor. It's going to appreciate. It's going to value. It's going to take consideration and have it be part of their lives, whatever that is. There's a huge resurgence in vitality that's rising up during this time the full moon in Aquarius comes along. You may feel you're not heard, you're not seen by this time. Continue to trust in what your heart's telling you. Continue to shine your light anyway. Those of you who've been misunderstood, who think that you're better than them, who don't quite get you, this may turn around by the time the full moon in Aquarius comes along, or before then, where they're now going to understand you. They're now going to listen to you. They're now going to try your new things, your innovative things. They're now going to try it out. Again, with what I say, Venus ingressing into Virgo on July 9th. By now, the collective is going to be like, oh, I'm used to trying things out. I'm not afraid to do it. Ooh, this new thing's coming. Let me try it. Let me try it. Let me be open to it. Leo, the expansion of the heart. Let me be open to that stuff. Major technological breakthroughs. New voices of collective power. These people you were once looking up to, you won't be looking up to them anymore because you're starting to realize, and I don't align with that. I don't resonate with that. That's not my truth anymore. It never was. You could have been following influencers or people in power or leaders just because everybody else was. Again, shadow side of Aquarius. I gotta be the follower. I gotta do what everybody else does. I gotta look like everybody else. I gotta be like everybody else. I gotta believe what everybody else does. No, this is totally shifting. And it's gonna be very uncomfortable. Let me tell you, I've already been through this. But when you really get to see the truth, that the truth and what that brings to you, oh my God, there's so much enlightenment, so much illumination, so much peace that gets brought into your life. And you're like, wow, this is how I was meant to live. There's going to be a major shift in the collective consciousness by the time this full moon Aquarius comes along July 29th. Either you're going to jump on the boat or you're not. You're going to be left behind. But I'm hearing no kid left behind. It's just that you will take longer to live life in paradise amongst all the chaos. That's all it is. Either you jump on the boat. But this is not jumping on the boat because everyone else is. This is jumping on the boat where that's my boat. Because all of you are jumping on different boats. But the bigger one, the bigger arc I'm hearing from Noah's Ark, the major shift in the collective consciousness is really understanding, oh my God, there's a newness here. This is a resurgence of the unconventional becoming the conventional. But it's the conventional that's actually going to benefit humanity, not the conventional now, the 3D world conventionality stuff, shit, that is causing our collective, the whole planet, to lose sense of self, to doubt, to fear, to worry, to be robots. Like that movie I, Robot. I think my partner was watching that last night. The conventional is now becoming conventional because those who are bringing this to light are the true leaders, the true people of divine truth, the true light workers, so to speak, because we all know there are fake light workers out there. There are light workers who do not bring the dark with the light. Those aren't true light workers, guys. I hate to say, those of you who love readers and spiritual teachers and everybody, pastors, preachers, who are all love and light and the goodness of God all the time and rainbows, unicorns, puppies, and Fruit Loops. Somebody's eating Fruit Loops. Somebody likes Fruit Loops. You are a Fruit Loop, but in a good way. Somebody calls you a Fruit Loop. You have a dog Fruit Loop. I don't know. I'm going way out there. That's what's coming in. Those aren't the true leaders of God, the leaders of the Creator, the leaders of the divine. They're not the true leaders of light. They're not the true light workers, the light bringers. You have to have the dark with the light. And those who bring the dark into the light, like myself, who illuminate the truth, are going to be the ones who are going to be put on the front lines of the spiritual army, ordained by God. And the conventional way of doing things is now going to start to benefit all of us. And those who may have seemed lost or going down a darker path, we're going to help them to come more to the light, but we're not going to judge them. We're not going to shove doctrine or religious beliefs or anything down their throats. We're going to help them to see the light within themselves so that they can see it for themselves and they can illuminate themselves and they can start healing themselves. We are supposed to be the ones who bring the inspiration, the inspirators, the motivators, the other life illuminators. I'm the first one to help others become the other Illuminatis, right? So that is the astrology for July. Yeah, it's an hour long. I don't give a shit. If you've made it this far, you are committed. You are dedicated. You are going to go far because you had the time and the patience to watch this as an entirety. And there's still the other picker readings I got to do. But here's one word of warning, a word of caution for the month of July. Be careful of hubris and excessive arrogance or overconfidence. It could be you, it could be somebody else. Just make sure you check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? And I'm going to be honest, I know I have to be careful with that because of my astrological placements, okay? This is to enlighten you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to illuminate you. I cannot tell you what to do, but I know through my own journey, what I've been able to change about myself and able to do has really, really helped me with my trials and tribulations, my transgressions, my challenges, my hardships. Because even when I go through all that, through more so-called pain and suffering and the what the fuck moments and just like, I'm tired of this, right? It's been helping me to gain the wisdom from it to make me even stronger and more powerful in my own right, so that I can be a greater example for others to help them through those very same things. And this is what a lot of you are going to be called to do soon, same difference. Okay. I wrote down participate in an ideology, don't submit to it. This is, again, being open to those new ideas, those new ways of living. This is also a breakthrough, not just in tech, but in health, in well-being, different ways of dealing with herbs and plants and flowers and God knows what else, things of nature, right? Seeing, utilizing nature to create more innovative things, right? Different spiritual practices, right? It's we cannot evolve as a people if we don't innovate. Again, you wouldn't be watching this on your TV or your mobile phone if someone didn't have the courage and the confidence and the innovation to create this thing. You see how this alone, this video will be able to disseminate among the masses? We didn't have this type of technology before, which means more people will get messages. The more people will get more enlightenment, more illumination without me having to go to these places, without me having to travel, right? I'm doing this from the comfort of my hotel room, but it's also more of, you know, allowing other people to see what else is out there without really having to go out there right now. And I'm getting a very strong feeling that we may come into another type of pandemic thing, and they want me to say it that way, in a different way. And we're going to go back to having to go to these videos and these leaders and these public speakers, whatever you want to call it, these healers, whatever you want to look at, spiritual teachers, spiritual mentors, to help them get through whatever is coming. Because there's going to be a lot. It's going to be very heavy, but just understand, evil never wins. The light always wins, but we need the evil. We need the dark to see the light. Okay? We need that. This is going to help better us. And when we stop focusing so much on the dark and the evil stuff, it's going to help enlighten us and to gain that wisdom so that we can become better as a people and more highly evolved and more compassionate and more understanding and more peaceful people, right? More like righteous and just, being more fair to everyone. Okay, again, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We're going to allow everyone to do what they need to do to bring about more peace and happiness, joy, and divine optimal health into their lives. So yeah, I am sensing that there's going to be a thing. There may be more shutdowns, or something may occur. And again, this is not fear mongering. This is what I'm feeling, and God's having me speak this without fear. We could go into another one of those pandemic things, and people are going to be like, oh my God, again, or whatever. But listen, it's not just me to help those people through it. If you're watching this, I'm supposed to help you to get other people to help them through it too. It's not just about you, it's about the collective. And we're going to need these other things, because we may not be able to go back there, back to those things that we used to love, that used to give us pleasure, all this stuff that we used to enjoy, because we're having another redo, or we're having a revamp, we're having another a death and a rebirth. Because it's, again, with the endings, we're going to have big things ending as a collective. It doesn't work for us anymore. Strong Pluto energy, right? It's done. It's over. It's part of our metamorphosis, our transformation to become higher beings, higher spiritual beings, so that we can really understand how life was meant to be lived. And so with these massive endings, there's grief there. There's hardship there. There's uncertainty there, but it's necessary for our evolution, so that we can create a healthier, more peaceful planet. That's what we're here to do. But not everybody wanted to go follow that calling, and that's okay. Everyone has a choice. So yeah, so be prepared for anything. But the biggest thing is, don't fall into despair. Don't start panicking. 111 on my clock here. Don't start freaking out, because that's not going to help you. It's not going to help anybody. And you got to turn to the people who really give you that boost of confidence, that enlightenment, that illumination, like myself, that and there could be other people too, but you have to go through the positive people, but also the people who are going to bring negativity into it, because they're getting you to see something. They're getting you to transmute that into positivity, transmuting the dark into light. And with that, we're now going to go into the separate readings. We're going to be picking things. The only animal I'm being called to as an option is the dragonfly. So I haven't really been told what other animals are in text to use. But again, be open-minded to that. If you're here and you've never actually done those types of things, you're here for a reason. Have an open heart. Have an open mind. Sit through it. If you are familiar with these pick-a-whatever things, they're long for a reason. If anybody knows, Jesus Christ had very long sermons, okay? I'm being called to have long videos myself because it's needed. That means the people who go through them, they have patience, they're committed, there's dedication, they're not in a hurry. They're really soaking in the wisdom, because there's a lot to disseminate. And with that, I wish you a wonderful rest of your month. Happy 4th of July to those who celebrate it. And I pray that this month does enlighten and illuminate you. And I pray that illuminated your well-being. But know that I am here for counsel. I am here to support you should you feel called. And don't be afraid or intimidated, because I've been there too. But trust me when I say, if you're led to me as a mentor, you want to work with me in some capacity, you just have to go by the energy that I emit, and you have to trust in what you're being led to, and I will just leave it at that. All right? Go have some fun. Make sure you have some fun, and if it turns out you can't have the fun, we're going to find ways to have fun regardless. Peace be with you, and I'll see you for the pick an animal, pick an insect readings. Love you guys. Bye.